Hi, I think I'm live. All right. So, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another weekly live training with Soaring to Source. I'm Antoinette Inglekay, and I'm your facilitator. So, let's go ahead and get going. We are talking about leaky gut today, and the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about this. Is I want to talk about the let's say you walk out to your car and you find a little dab. Trying to figure out how that camera is working. Why can't I? Okay, a little dab. There you go. You find a little dab of oil underneath your car. Well, you're most likely to take that to the mechanic. The mechanic, let's say they run all kinds of tests and say, "Oh, everything's coming back normal. Don't worry about it." You take your car back and you're like, "Don't worry about it. I've got a leak. I have to worry about it. This car has to be able to get me to work. It has to get me to the grocery store. It has to take my kids, to their soccer games or whatever is going on, right?" So the your car has to work, so you're going to probably take it to another mechanic and see if they could figure out what's going on. Well, my question is, why aren't we doing that for our own bodies? Now, we're not going to find a little. Hopefully, we're not going to wake up with a little, dab of something that shouldn't be outside of our body. If we do, please go to the emergency room. But we do have signs and we do have symptoms that we could have a leaky gut. And a lot of times the doctors aren't able to aren't able to diagnose it. But that doesn't mean that we should just, oh, okay, no problem, because this body that we came in with is the only body we get, and we really need to be taking care of it. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about there's a lot of symptoms. I'm going to read them to you so I don't miss them. But there's a lot of symptoms. And then we're going to talk about what leaky gut is. And we're going to go into why doctors are having a tough time diagnosing it and what it is that you can do about it. All right. So let me go ahead and read this to you. Well, hello. There we go. All right. So here are some of the signs and symptoms. Gas, bloating, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, food allergies or food intolerances, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, ADD, ADHD, seasonal allergies or asthma, hormonal imbalances such as irregular periods, PMS or PCOS, diagnosis of an autoimmune disease such as rheumatoid arthritis, joint pain, Hashimoto's, lupus, psoriasis, celiac disease, diagnosis of chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia, mood imbalances such as depression and anxiety, skin issues such as acne, and eczema. That's a whole list of signs and symptoms. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what leaky gut is. And so that you can understand it better and you can understand why all of these signs and symptoms are in this are sitting in this category of a possibility of having a leaky gut. All right, so leaky gut. We're going to first talk about a healthy gut. A healthy gut means that your intestines have a very, very tight junction. All right, what's happening is your stomach is digesting food, and it's sending it to the small intestines. And in the small intestine, your small intestine is breaking the food down, the partial food that's been set, it's breaking it down into the micronutrients. This tight junction is only going to allow the micronutrients to come out. Those micronutrients come out of the small intestine wall. They get into your bloodstream, and then your bloodstream takes it to all your organs so that your organs can get the nutrients it needs. All right. So that's what a healthy small intestine is doing. An unhealthy one, it's these tight junctions aren't there. And some of them may be tight, but some of them are going to be loose. And if they're loose, that means that partially digested food is coming out and into the main body cavity. And what's happening there is, and your food should not be leaving your digestive system. Only the nutrients should be leaving, and your body knows that. Your immune system knows that. It finds that it sees this partially digested food as an invader, and it goes after it and it attacks it, and it creates those wonderful memory cells so they can remember that food the next time it comes in so they can attack it again. And so as more food's coming through and the immune system's kicked off and it's going after it again. And the other thing that's happening with your immune system is going to create inflammation. All right, so this leaky gut is, causing this food to come out, which is causing the immune system to be overactive and to continually be going after what it considers to be invaders. So this is what is happening in a permeable intestine wall, which is where the leaky gut is coming from. All right. So why are doctors having such a hard time diagnosing it? It's because you heard all those signs and symptoms, right? And a lot of things could be causing them. So the doctors are going to run the tests that they know to run, and they're going to say that you're running within the normal parameters of whatever. And so then you walk away going, okay, now what? You're undiagnosed. You don't know what to do. You've got this gas. You have this bloating. You have one of them that shocked me was ADD and ADHD. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? PMS. That one shocked me too. So how many of them shocked you? Let me know in the comments if you were shocked by any of those signs and symptoms of leaky gut. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is because the tests are, we don't have the right tests. So the tests are failing to tell them that it is leaky gut. 2,500 years ago, Hippocrates said that all disease begins in the gut. And I do believe in that. We have been doing research, not we, not me, but the scientific community has been doing research for the past 20 some years on the gut and has been finding a lot of this to be true. But as you all know, and as I've said, science is slow. You really can't wait because your doctor may not get the information that he or she is waiting for 20 to 25 years on how to handle, how to diagnose leaky gut, how to manage it. So you can't sit around and wait. You don't want it to get to IBS or celiac disease or any of these others more, intense ones. You need to take care of it when you have some of these smaller symptoms. So there's not enough scientific evidence out there for a lot of doctors to come on board. But because it is so easy to and low risk to be able to try and correct it, why not try it, right? So what are I'm going to talk now about what are the four main things that can cause leaky gut. We do have 20 years of experience or of scientific evidence, so that that time has shown us that leaky gut can be caused by four different things. The number one is dysbiosis. What's dysbiosis? Dysbiosis is an unbalance between your unhealthy and your healthy microbes. All right, it's an imbalance. So you have more unhealthy than you have of the healthy microbes. And your microbiome is responsible for the health of your intestinal wall. If it's responsible for that tight junction, you need to have a healthy microbiome. You don't want to have dysbiosis, all right? So it's also responsible. 80% of your immune system is sitting there. So if it's unhealthy again, your immune system is not functioning at peak. So your microbiome is responsible for a healthy gut, no doubt. And dysbiosis is the number one cause for leaky gut. The other cause is going to be poor diet. So I'm talking processed foods, GMOs. Stay away from GMOs, please. You need to be eating organic foods, and I know that's tough. I can't eat all organic either. I can't afford that, so I get that. But what I do is there is a dirty dozen that's out there, and you need to look up that dirty dozen, and just Google it. And anything that is in that list, buy organic. All right. So so that's okay. And we're eating inflammatory foods as well, like dairy. I love dairy, but it doesn't like me. So the other thing that's in our poor diet is sugar and alcohol. So that doesn't mean that you can't have it ever or at all. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the maintenance plan in a little bit. All right. So the other thing, so we talked about the microbiome and the poor diet. The other thing that is going on is chronic stress. Chronic stress weakens your immune system so that it can't get rid of the bad microbes. And you don't want that. I mean, you want those bad microbes gone, and you need your immune system to be functioning in order to do that. So that is very, very important. And it's also causing inflammation. All right. The chronic stress will cause inflammation. We also have the fourth thing is we also have toxic overload. We're talking about pesticides. We're talking about a lot of antibiotics, are out there, and people are taking a lot of antibiotics, which just boom destroys, the good and the bad. We have the aspirin is not good for the gut. NSAIDs like Motrin is not good for the gut microbiome either. And then we have environmental tox. Well, I already talked about pesticides, but there's watch out for the BPA's in plastics, and watch out for mercury in your mainly in your fish. So we're going to talk about now what it is that you can do if you have these symptoms and you just want to quickly figure not really. You don't need a diagnosis really because it's improving your diet is what it is, and it's going through a microbiome detox. So that's why I'm saying it's so easy to do. The detox should only take 7 to 8 weeks, and then put you on a maintenance plan. And that maintenance plan is where you improved your poor diet. So let's talk about this detox. Because if you don't want to use mine, I do have one. Mine has been created by myself, a licensed nutritionist and a naturopath. If you don't want to use mine, these are the things that you need to look for in a microbiome plan. So let me list these off for you. You want a gentle food detox, all right, because you don't want your body to go into what we call as a health crisis. So a gentle food detox, you don't want to go from eating crappy to drinking just water or eating just fruit or anything like that. You want a gentle detox, okay? And you want that detox to be removing the allergen foods. And then you want herbs to be supporting the whole process. So because the first part of the process is the detoxing, you want herbs that are going to be helping your body to cleanse, which means they're helping your liver, helping your lymph system, and that type of stuff. So you definitely want herbs that are doing that. You want herbs that can restore your intestinal health to strengthen those junction points for you want anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic herbs in the mixture. You want herbs that are going to stop your bloating and stop your gas, stop your diarrhea, and so the other thing, so those are the main things that the herbs that you want them to do. And then you want to be able to reintroduce to maintain and reintroduce the good bacteria and good viruses, the good microbes. All right. So, and you want to be able to do that through probiotic foods is where you get it introduced, and then prebiotic foods is what's going to feed those good microbes. All right, so introducing those foods, and you do want to reintroduce the allergen foods to see if you are allergic to it. So if you reintroduce a food and you get gassy, then you want to pull it out and not bring it back in. All right, so reintroducing those allergen foods is good. And another good thing is support. With my program, you're going to have me for support every single week, not for 8 weeks. Not only that, but I have in my back pocket, I have the naturopath, and I have the licensed nutritionist if I need them to help me figure out if something's happening that's a little weird. So that's a really good thing to have. You really need the support when you're going through something like this. You also need a maintenance plan. That maintenance plan should be a plan where it's 75 to 80%, which means you don't have to stick to it 100%. So your microbiome can bounce back pretty quickly. So if you've got a party coming up where you want to have that piece of chocolate cake, then plan for it. Eat good all week so that you can have that piece of chocolate cake, or you can have that whatever. No, I'm not going to say any of the try and stay away from processed foods as much as you can. Yes. Okay. So, but this is where that poor diet comes in. We're talking about the 4 things that causes the leaky gut. You need a maintenance plan that is going to put you on a really good diet. And so my plan, and it also comes with a full food plan and recipes along with it. So the other thing that we talked about that causes the leaky gut is chronic stress. Now, I talk a lot in this group about stress. Stress is so important that we get a handle on it. We need to be able to manage our emotions, manage our thoughts, and increase our resilience. And my program does that for you. I use scientifically proven meditation techniques. So if you need to learn more about that, you know to click the link above. If you want to learn more about the microbiome plan, click the link above. We'll talk for free, that first time. And I would love to be able to talk to you about it, especially if you're experiencing any of those symptoms that we talked about. You can see how simple it is to go ahead and give this a try and see if it helps those symptoms that you're having. What's the harm? Now, if you do need a special diet, then obviously you have to get it approved by your nutritionist, or have your nutritionist build one for you, or have it approved by your doctor, whatever whatever it takes. But make sure that you're looking at solving the symptoms so that you can live that healthier life that we all want to live. Now, one thing that I talk a lot about stress. Next week, I am going to talk about chronic stress, because chronic stress is sneaky, and we're going to talk about that so that you can really truly understand what chronic stress is, so that you know if you have it. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this talk about leaky gut, and please do give me a call, or set up that call. I'd love to talk to you guys, and you have a wonderful week. Okay.